So welcome back to Worthington Model Railway, and the next installment on building the tunnel and the hill area here. And first thing I'm going to do today is to get all these stone tunnels painted to look like stone. So we'll come back and see what we did with that. Start off by taking some black acrylic paint. Sorry, I have water in here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So I got some water in here. I'm going to put some black acrylic paint into here. And we'll put some white acrylic paint in. This just happens to be in a can. For things like this, I use these cheap brushes that I buy from the hardware store. They're, chip brush. They're basically $1 a piece or so, so they're fairly good and they're fine for this. You don't need anything particularly special. So anyway, I'm mixing this black and white paint up, and as you see, or maybe you can see here, what we get is like an emulsion, right? Bits of black, bits of white in it. We're just going to dribble this emulsion over this stonework. Just let it run down the stonework. Don't have to be too careful with it. We'll do other things with it in a little while. I'm going to get on and do this, and we'll see where we're at when we get this all covered. Yeah, and you don't worry if this sort of gets to be kind of slightly different colors in different places, because we're going to try to actually make it look more like that in a minute. By putting some other colors in here to give it more of a cut stone type finish. But I want to first of all just get this layer of gray on here. So we'll be back in a minute. So one other thing is not to forget to do the backs of these. Even though we're going to put foliage and stuff, we really don't want white plaster showing when we get the foliage in here. So I'm just making sure I get coverage all along the back of all of these tunnel entrances. So here I have two ramekins. I took some of my gray wash. I added some black to this one. It's probably not enough. I'm going to need some sort of blacker, darker to simulate the coal dust and stuff that would be on these, particularly from where the steam trains would go by. So putting some black paint in here. It looks like I might need to go get another bottle of black paint. Although I get black paint everywhere, which is not good. That's one of the reasons why I come back afterwards and do the landscaping here, because I can cover up my mess. Yeah, this is looking a good color, but it needs some more water in it. And the green, I started off with some green paint here, but it's too green. I want this to sort of look more like a mossy color, and this just is the wrong green. So I'm going to get another color paint and I'll be back. So I added a couple more different greens in here, so I get a sort of mixture of greeny colors in there. And I say I'm just going to dry brush it very much a little touch of it on here, not all over. This green might not be quite what I want, in which case I can just change the green a little and go over it a little and try something else. As you see, it doesn't use very much paint at all to do this. So I'll get on and do this, and I'll see you in a minute. Well, I'm not exactly 100% happy with this green. It's too green. See if it dries down a little bit. I think I'm going to change it for a different green. See what we can find. Grab some different green. It's more of a mossy green color. Hopefully you can see it there. So let's try this green, see if this works better. And it doesn't really matter because we're kind of going over what's there. That was a little heavy. Try to brush some of that off. You know, if it doesn't work, we can always go back to gray and start again. I mean, that's the thing about this. Sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. This is definitely a better color than the other green. The fact that the two are kind of coming through each other is okay. Yeah, I definitely like this color better. Okay, let me keep going with this and we'll come back. More highlighting. We often get like goldy color in some of the stones. So again, I'm going to dry brush. I mixed up some orange, some yellow, and some brown. Hopefully that'll give me like a, see, like this mixed color that has kind of a stone effect. I don't know if you can, yeah, I think you can see that there. So we're going to dry brush this on and see how this works. Again, I don't want a lot of this. I almost have too much there, but I think when we go over it, it'll be okay. All right, let me get on with this and we'll come back. I'll show you the result. So hopefully you can see the effect that that made. What I need to do now is sort of tone the whole thing down, and I'm going to put some of this dark wash, which will be very, very watery, over the top. Making it a little more detailed over the tops of the arches. Just to show you the technique that I'm using here, basically what I'm doing is I'm just gonna wet this on. I'm taking a paper towel, pretty much wiping it off, so it just sits in the cracks of the stonework. I can dab anything I want in there, and then definitely where the smoke would be, I want to make it a little heavier in this area. As you can see, it's pretty effective to tone the whole thing down. So let me get on with this and I'll come back when I'm done. You can see the effect there and how, you know, layering those colors makes it look pretty realistic. I do have a couple more things to do, and one of the things I want to do is put some really dark black right above the centers, because I don't think that is really typically dark enough. I mean, those get really sooty as steam trains go by. There, I think it's a lot better. It's a lot darker. Hopefully you can see that effect on those tunnels. Okay, let's get on with the next phase. So these boards were just way too warped. This was not going to work. So I found some 1/4-inch ply, and I used some white glue, and I've glued the boards down to the 1/4-inch ply. I'm next going to get out my jigsaw, and I'm going to cut around the boards and hopefully we'll get a better base for what we're trying to do here. So as you can see, sticking the foam boards to the 1/4-inch plywood there has solved that warping problem, and they're going to sit there very nicely. So now I have to do some work to sort of hide the edges and put the stuff together. So, but that's probably a job for another day. I'm going to call it a day on this section of the video. Obviously, I need to get that portal painted in a similar fashion to these, and also the one at the other end. So I might get that done today, but I just thought I'd show you these boards, because I know there was a lot of comments on the last video about how to resolve the warping. So that piece is resolved, and upwards and onwards. Finished that portal. If I zoom out a little bit, you'll see it pretty closely matches the other portals. That is a tip here. If you're going to do some of these and they're close and they're supposed to look alike, make them look alike. Okay, yes, I forgot to put the black on the top for the smoke. I will do that. Being a double tunnel, more black on each side for each track, not quite as much in the middle. So hopefully that'll make that look okay. And we'll see you again soon. I'd like to wish everybody Happy New Year. If you've subscribed to the channel, thank you. If you haven't, please subscribe. If you know somebody that might be interested in watching, ask them to subscribe too. We're over 500 subscribers now, but you know, it's not a lot in the big picture. It would be great if we could hit that 1,000 mark in the next couple of months. One thing I did want to mention is that, you know, sometimes I post stuff and I'm showing errors or mistakes or things I do wrong. I want everybody to try to learn from what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes things go right, sometimes things go wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with me showing you things that go wrong. I do get some negative comments on that, but hey, you know what? I think we're all learning together. Anyway, please subscribe. You can subscribe with the button to the top right, and there's another video to the top left. Once again, every good best wish for 2022.